Now it's time for the Rant Wheel. You know how it works. We spin the wheel wherever it lands. We rant about the topic. This week on the wheel, we have the parking lot at my gym. Olivia Wilde being served custody papers in public. Selling sunset. Weed stores that look like Apple stores. The Kardashians. Abercrombie and Fitch. Over-the-top public apologies. And crunchy peanut butter. Let's spin the wheel.
It's exciting. Nervous.
Yeah.
It has landed on the Kardashians, which I believe Matt suggested.
Well, I happened to watch it, and I never watch it, but I watched it for your show, John, just because I love you, so
Thank
I watched
you.
it. They're sort of like these vampires. It works perfect. I must say, it works perfectly during COVID because everyone's serving them food and building them houses and like handling their children are wearing masks, so they look like these immortal vampires who don't want to deal with the mortals serving them like terrible burgers and mac and cheese. So that was the only part I liked, but it's just the whole capitalism and aspirational, like disgusting element of it. Just it's still going on, and it's really a danger to our society.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Well, I know it's addicting. A lot of cool things are addicting. Like smoking's cool, but it's addicting.
Counterpoint. The Kardashians give people a kind of hope that they couldn't have before in a very specific way. Because there's a lot of people out there that want to be famous, but they're not special. And the Kardashians said, hey, when you're in the shower and you're aspiring and that little twinge that tells you you can't sing, you can't dance, you can't act, you're not funny, you're not smart, you're not reading, you're not disciplined, you don't know anything, can't write a poem, can't build a house, can't dig a hole, you're fucking useless. You can still be famous in America. And that's aspirational.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. But they it's like they have ADD for like attention because they should leave in the moment after they brag about something where they're like giving you that face like, am I worth something? Because there's no dead air time on that show. It's just them trying on another outfit.
I think that's cool.
But you're right about what they offer people with no talent.
But is that good to do?
Well, I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know.
We
I
don't
think
think
I
so.
know.
I think we know.
I think it's not good.
we think
it's not good.
Hey, we think it's not. Hey, we think it's not good.
We're going to take a strong stand and say the Kardashians are not good for America.
We're not sure it's good. We're not sure
Probably
it's
not
good.
good. No,
Probably not good.
Probably not good.
Probably not good.
Probably not
Let's spin it again. That was great. It has landed on Abercrombie and Fitch.
This is me. Oh, my Abercrombie and Fitch. Okay, look, Netflix just put out a whole documentary that was like, hey, did you know that this company was racist? Which is like, as someone born in 1990, I thought that's what they were going for the whole time. Like I'm saying, you put shirtless white men in the front who just look like they want to burn a cross at my house. Yeah, I thought your whole thing was, we're Abercrombie, we're racist, that's our thing. And so Netflix makes this whole documentary that tries to be like, shocking, am I right? Like they had shirts that said like two wrongs don't make a right. That's horrible. Like, oh, and it's like, yeah, I know I was there. And there's a part where they're explaining like, here's what a mall was. So like a mall was like a search engine you could walk through. like imagine a catalog, but with things you can actually touch. Okay, but then what's worse, like the documentary, and they're like, but no, don't worry, like Abercrombie, we got the racism out now. Like we're all good. Like everybody who works here is like a beautiful rainbow. And like if you go to their website, it's like, this is Abercrombie now. We're so beautiful, so diverse. And I fucking bought the clothes. That's what I did it. I bought for the first time in my life, I bought something for Abercrombie as someone who like grew up like in a Hot Topic. Do you know how angry I was at myself that I was like, no, the cool girls in high school I used to make fun of, now I'm them. okay? And I bought the Abercrombie, and goddamn, it is good. It is good. It fits so nice. But I will say, I posted a picture on Twitter. It like blew up. All these people were like, oh my God, it's so cute. I want to buy something from Abercrombie. They were tagging Abercrombie. They were like, oh my God, give her credit. Like, she's selling your stuff. And they were like, no. So I do feel like they only took out like 20% of the racism, like per stitch.
That reminds me of when Domino's had that ad campaign where it's like, hey, we heard you. Our pizza's not good. And we're going to try to make it good now.
And you know what, Paul? They fucking did it.
It wasn't bad.
That's what I hear.
They really
It's not
did.
bad.
That's what I hear.
They really did it.
That's what I hear.
Those bastards cracked the code. I have to say something now, which is this. When Ellen DeGeneres received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, it'll connect back, I promise. When Ellen DeGeneres got the Presidential Medal of Freedom, I saw it on television, and I just started sobbing. I was just sobbing, and I realized why. Ellen DeGeneres announced that she was doing something on her show, came out of the closet, became gay, the show was canceled, she got another show, that didn't work, then she got the talk show, that did work, famously.
Yeah.
And I realized that all that happened without me saying out loud that it was important to me because I was closeted at the time. And so that really mattered to me when Ellen came out. The whole thing happened, and then I forgot about it, and I was just closeted the whole time. And then I see Ellen getting the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and I'm fucking sobbing on behalf of Ellen, famously kind. And anyway, the point I'm making is, when I saw there was an Abercrombie documentary, and all of a sudden there was this conversation about Abercrombie and Fitch, all of a sudden, gay men of a certain age all together realized, oh my God, this is the fucking poison at the core of being a closet chubby kid in the late 90s in America, that Abercrombie and Fitch was a fucking boot on our necks. It really was. Like, if my body dysmorphia is a pizza, Abercrombie and Fitch is like 3 fucking slices. I'm going to be vulnerable for a moment.
Please. Yeah.
And I'll say this. The number of times I saw Zach Morris on television and then tried to recreate the look at Abercrombie and Fitch and Aeropostale and failed because I was a foot shorter and the same weight. And I fuck that store, burn every single one of them to the goddamn ground. Let's spin it again. It has landed on crunchy peanut butter from Paul.
What's wrong with you people? There's peanut butter and there's peanuts. 2 different things. Why, if I want to enjoy peanut butter on something, would I ever want my upper palate pierced? I don't don't understand the idea of, okay, keep going, and stop right there. It's perfect. Do you know what I like when I make my coffee and I grind it up? I throw a few whole beans in there. You're out of your minds. I don't understand. What? You know, that doesn't need... The whole point of it is no texture. That's the whole point. We're not talking about ice cream. Is it that you don't like ice cream and you're like, I'm jealous of people that have things in their stuff and you want to have that experience for yourself? It doesn't work with peanut butter. If you're a thinking, feeling human being, if you're not a sociopath, you enjoy creamy peanut butter. Also, creamy is a better word than crunchy. I put it to you that crunch is a better word than crunchy, and creamy is a better word than cream. So just stop ripping up your bread. Just be normal. I'm just saying, just be normal. I haven't yet heard a good case for it.
I'll make a case for it right fucking now.
Good luck. Good luck.
Where are my crunchy friends at?
I like crunchy.
Crunchy
I
peanut
like
butter
crunchy.
fucking rules.
I like crunchy.
It fucking rules. Let me tell you something. You take a soft piece of bread, you put some soft, creamy peanut butter on it. It's delicious. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna
Thank you for meeting me there at least.
I'm not gonna do sophistry. But I'll tell you something. You take one piece of bread, you put a little crunchy peanut butter on one side, you fold that thing over. It's a fucking flavor and texture
Yeah.
delight.
But okay.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
It's a texture party. It's the
Here's
texture
it's a
party.
Texture party.
Yeah.
Hey, texture
No, thank
party.
you.
Texture party. Table for one.
Yes.
Me.
And hey,
Two.
And two.
Maybe
Matt.
a little honey on
That's
that. Why
right.
not?
A little honey on that. Why
sure,
not?
because it cuts down on the sharpness of the nuts.
No, the bread cuts
Hey,
down on the sharp.
do you want to have
The sharpness is always
how about how about a
there.
sandwich? There's little knives in it. Is that cool?
Yeah.
How about Cheetos? Can I ask you crunchy Cheeto or regular Cheeto? Do you
I
hate
like 'em
everything?
both. Don't make me choose.
Okay. I didn't know if you were strictly never crunchy.
I
No,
don't,
I like
feel-
crunchy things that don't hurt. That's what I like.
Yeah, I feel like this is more of like an orange juice with pulp or no pulp conversation.
I'll say
you
this.
know?
I'll say this. I think we can
Yeah.
all agree that if somebody likes the
could not
pulp,
guess what
they
that
should be
reaction was.
fucking murdered. It is disgusting.
Yeah.
Chunky
It is
peanut butter is just
disgusting.
pulpy
no,
peanut
it
butter.
isn't. I think it's different. My view, my personal view, is that it's different.
Yeah. Chunky juice just doesn't
Yeah.
work.
We
Chunky
don't want-
juice doesn't work.
That's just
You don't want
crunchy
chunky
all
juice.
We don't
day.
want chunky juice. We want chunky, whatever it is.
Can
somewhere
we talk
between
about
solid and
oranges in
liquid.
general? Because I find them too membranous. Do you know what I mean? What I like in a fruit is something I can just pick up and take a bite out of. Not a thing that's in a secret little case and I have to unlock it and then I have to pull its alien-like sections out. Too many strings, oranges. Too many
Yeah.
strings.
Too much going on.
It is, as you all know, it is the official position of Love It or Leave It that we do not have any calories in liquids. That we save our calories for solids.
Yes.
So we don't drink juice
No.
because it's stupid. Because a glass of orange juice is a cookie and a cookie is fries.
Very sensible.
Very sensitive.
Let's spin it again. And that's also diet culture, and I know that. Please stop tweeting at me. Olivia Wilde served custody papers in public. So, I don't know if you've seen this story, but here's the deal. Olivia Wilde was giving a kind of director's talk at CinemaCon, and she was talking about a new film, and then midway through her conversation, somebody walked up to the stage with an envelope. They pushed the envelope forward. Olivia Wilde said, "Is this for me?" She picked it up, she opened it, she looked at it, she pushed it down, she continued her talk as if nothing had happened. Many people thought, perhaps this is a fan with some fan stuff. Perhaps this is a aspiring screenwriter who was an asshole and decided the world revolved around them and was going to give them a script at this moment.
Could you imagine such a person?
It's possible. It's possible.
At a film festival, no.
But it turns out it was some kind of a process server delivering custody documents about the custody of the children that she has with Jason Sudeikis. Now, I believe as a rule, I don't want to get into the private lives of Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde. I hope they're happy separately, as happy as they were together, and I hope they figure it all out. And I don't know anything about them. We don't need to know anything about them. But I will say this. You don't need to serve somebody papers while they're giving a talk about their new movie. That's one. And two, I will be suspicious about the denial about the papers getting there at that place, because that is a choice. That is a fucking choice. It is a choice to deliver papers to somebody at their moment of achievement, an important moment in their lives. She is an actress and a director who is making a name for herself. She made Booksmart. She's an incredible director. She is building a name for herself. She is at a moment of triumph, and this comes in, and the papers are slid across the stage, and it feels devious, and it feels purposeful, and it feels like a choice. And that is what I think happened. And until I'm told otherwise, that is what I will continue to believe. And
Yes.
that is how I feel about it. And maybe I'm wrong, because I don't know.
No, I think you're 100% right. I'm just gonna
Get in
okay,
there.
it cost a $1,100 to buy a ticket to this event. What process server was like, I got $1,100 lying around. This is the only way I can do it. Come on, somebody was like, let's get him in there. Even the event was like, that was against our security protocol. Like, someone had to pull some strings.
And I don't like it. All right. And I've watched the pilot of Ted Lasso. Let's spin it again. It has landed on weed stores that look like Apple stores.
This is me. I don't know why the more legal marijuana becomes, the worse it is to go into those stores. Like, everything is designed to look like an Apple store, or like check-in at the Virgin America counter or the lounge at Virgin America. I guess I just missed the days when there was like a bulletproof piece of plexiglass and a bud tender behind the door, and you kind of got to know him, and you had to repeat it twice because he goes, "What did you want again, man? I'm sorry." And you kind of got to know that he was reconnecting with his estranged son. And it was like a thing, and it had the roots of like jazz musicians like weed. It was an underground drug, and you were sort of bonding, and there was still a little shame in it, I guess, is what it was about. But nowadays, it's just like, it's homogenous, and it's kind of ruining, it's making me not want to get high anymore.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
That stinks.
I mean, this sounds to me like when I was a kid, the playground would kill you.
But it didn't kill you. Like, there was nobody like there. They had a security guy out front. You still had to give your ID. It was safe and it was legal-ish, you know, and there was a vending machine if you didn't want to deal with it. Now they just like shove it, like you tell the young lady usually what you want, and then she goes, "Okay, purple time Kush gravy coming right up." And then you go, "Just wait over here," and then you're like waiting in no man's land, and then a clerk will go, "Purple time Kush gravy," and you walk up, and they've slid it through a door, and you don't even see the kitchen. You don't even see where they like wrap it.
You don't even see where
You know
it's
what I mean?
coming
And then
from.
all the cubes on like the sheer austere white surfaces are like, you know, like an insect in Jurassic Park, and they've cubed it forever.
They've cubed
It's
it.
so
great.
impersonal.
Yeah.
It
I
sounds
agree.
great to me.
No.
It's great. It's
not great.
unappealing. It's like going to a restaurant where like it says chicken salad, and you order chicken salad, and then there's fucking pineapple and coconut in it. It's like, you don't need to do that.
It's like
You don't
the
need to
Chicken
do that.
salad is
gentrification.
celery and mayonnaise
Yeah.
and maybe a little
gentrification
salt and
of weed
pepper,
stores.
and that's it. Like,
And
don't
that's
fuck it up.
Don't
Yeah.
fuck it up.
Pardon me.
Pardon him.
That's comfort food. Marijuana is comfort food. You're ruining it.
There was something I understand when the first weed stores were opening in LA. My favorite thing was, look, you can show up at a weed store, and as long as you're stoned, like, I would go to weed stores so fucking high. It was the best time because you walk in and just be like, "Take care of me, help me." I don't. Here's this. This is my debit card because you don't take credit cards because of the federal government. Here's my debit card. You seem to have a bag. Fill it.
Yeah, it's not like that now. Now it's like, hey, like, what's your Bitcoin wallet? Like,
Yeah.
my
Oh, do
God,
you want to be
it's-
part of our rewards program?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Weed is the
Excuse me.
reward.
Excuse me. What about this exchange leads you to believe that I'm a person planning ahead and retaining the idea of points in this transaction? No, I don't want to join your rewards program. Give me the fucking edibles so that I can all go home and forget that we don't live in a democracy anymore.
Yeah. That's what it's for.
Matt,
Yeah.
I want to apologize for them. Something that happens.
Don't apologize. They've been nice so far.
They've been great, but something that does happen at Love It or Leave It is people do boo reality. It's something that does happen from time to time. Let's spin it again. I love it. It has landed on Selling Sunset.
Oh, baby. Yes. Oh, Selling Sunset. We just got some new episodes, y'all. And first of all, what is happening on that show? They did not sell a single house. all season. Nothing. Also, like, the only reason to watch is Christine. She's like the perfect villain. She's amazing. It's like Cruella de Vil was like her tutor growing up. She's a perfect villain. And like this season, she's like, I'm going full villain. Get me a black friend. And they literally like finally bring in a black girl, and it is like the best television I've ever seen. But then everyone the whole time is just like, Christine's the worst. We got to get rid of her. No, she is the whole show. Okay? She's the whole show. Like, they're like, oh, yeah, we're doing the reunion, but Christine said she couldn't come. Reschedule it. Like, what are we wasting our time for? What, are we going to just listen to Chrishell cry about Jason? Whatever, okay? What, Davina being like, I couldn't sell a $75 million house. Yeah, you're the worst, Davina. Okay? Just make it the Christine show. That is all any of us want. I don't care if she can't sell a house. She can walk on like a platform with just like 10-inch heels. She's a goddess.
As you know, I've seen one episode, and I really struggled with it because two people went out to dinner. One of them was, I think, some kind of Italian man who did not want to be on the show. And in the episode, he ordered an espresso martini and a margarita pizza. And I've just never seen an adult man order a margarita pizza as their entree. It's a horrible choice.
Yes.
There's no protein. It's just a lot of. It's just a maybe for the table, but not for the one thing you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And with an espresso martini, that's disgusting. And she's like, "Do you think we're gonna get married one day?" And he was like, he was just very upset. And I had trouble sticking with it after that.
Yeah.
I also don't like those twins.
Jason and the other one.
I don't like it. I didn't like the energy. I was uncomfortable. There was just such a kind of misogyny in their kind of general.
Oh yeah, because
behavior.
they're short, they hate women extra. Yeah. You know.
I'll just never get an espresso martini and a margarita pizza. That's an insane or that's a wild order.
What you have to understand is that food on Selling Sunset is decorative. Like those women, none of those people actually eat food. The highlight of this season is a grown adult woman fitting through a doggy door. She gets through there.
She gets through it. Let's spin it again. It has landed on the parking lot at my gym.
Here's how it works. There's a very small lot, very limited amount of space. Each lane fits 2 cars. It's marked off. You're not a doctor. You're not a superhero. You're not anyone that needs to get in and out as quickly as possible. So you can park in the front of a 2-lane spot. It's a 2-car spot. You don't park in the front and leave that empty spot behind you because you're nobody. And how do I know? You go to the gym I go to. I will always pull all the way in because I would rather someone ask me to leave, to move my car, than to have to go around with like a fucking camera phone picture like, is this your car? Is this your, can you? Actually, I said the wrong thing. I would rather ask somebody to move than be asked to move.
I was confused.
Yeah.
I was so mad because I wanted the thing.
You antagonized yourself.
Yes, I did. I did. Because when somebody comes up to me with a picture and it's not my car, I can go, no, that's not me. Because I did the right thing.
You know what it is? It's a fundamental divide in humanity.
Absolutely.
Which is, do you like an aisle when you can go to the bathroom whenever the fuck you want? But if somebody else wants to go to the bathroom, they're in charge?
That's right.
Or do you want to be inside, which means you have to rely on the kindness of strangers to go to the bathroom, but no one is going to tell you when to stand or sit. You're in the middle. So it's like, what kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to be the kind of person that is available to help, yet you're in charge of your own destiny, yet you must be available to help? Or do you want to be the kind of person that is at the whim of a stranger, yet is not beholden to
But
anyone.
let me throw something else in there.
Please do.
Okay.
Because on the
I
airplane.
thought that explained all humanity.
Yeah,
I don't know what
oh,
else.
it's very-
I don't know what else there is.
There's
What's left?
The
there's a-
pilot?
there's a
Are you
cru-
talking about the pilot?
There's a crucial
Oh, yeah.
difference. There is a crucial difference. The airline, you are assigned, you get to pick a seat, and that's your seat. You're not like getting in a seat and then somehow blocking someone else from having a seat. So because the lot
Right.
is so small,
true. That's a
if,
good point.
if a bunch of assholes, and there are a bunch, all park in the front of a 2-car spot, then little old me comes in there. I'm just trying to have my day. And then I go in there and I can't park, even though there's a wall of spaces behind this fucking dumb hedge of cars. That's the big difference. It's either you understand that the person coming out of the door has right of way before you go in, or you don't understand that. And if you don't understand that, it's because you know what it is and you don't want to do it. It's rude.
It's
and
rude.
I'm sick of it.
And we're sick of it. Let's spin it one more time.
Yeah.
I meant to make that funnier, but I just got straight mad.
It has landed on over-the-top public apologies, and I'd like to talk about one apology in particular, and that is about the straight man who said he was bisexual. Misha something. Is that his name?
Misha Collins.
Misha? Yeah, I know. We talked about him earlier. I remember. So apparently, he gives an interview, and he somehow leaves the impression that he's bisexual. He's not bisexual. That's fine. He doesn't have to be. Then apparently someone else on the show that he's on, which I believe is Supernatural, is in some kind of car accident. And that distracts him for a couple of days. And that'll happen. But during that 3 days, everyone thought he was bisexual. And a lot of podcasts were recorded that discussed it. And we can't have that. And so then he comes out from dealing with whatever personal issues he was dealing with, and he discovers that the internet is very excited by the fact that he's a bisexual man. And he's like, but I'm not a bisexual man. I mean, maybe he is. Because who isn't? On some level. And he realizes, oh dear, I've made a blunder. The world believes I'm a bisexual. And while that's given me a great many plaudits, as it does these days, what with the state of things, he realizes that he's got to nip this in the bud because he's got really 2 options. Be bisexual forever, literally for the rest of his life, make a big change, or come clean and say that in a moment of, look, actors, they like creating a moment, and he created a moment where he said he was bisexual, even though he's not. And so he decided he had to issue an apology, and here is my problem. There is currently no equity in an apology that is measured, because a measured apology and an over-the-top, effusive, prostrate before society apology gets you the same thing, right? No one ever pays a price for apologizing too hard. And that's fine interpersonally, mostly. Although it isn't really, right? If you have a friend who's late all the time, and whenever they're late, they don't just say, I'm so sorry. They're like, I am the worst. I am a monster. How could I be so late? You're like, all right, narcissist, chill the fuck out. But on social media, the effusive apology is usually the best strategy, because you don't really know when you put an apology out into the world how apologetic you need to be to get to the other fucking side, because Elon Musk didn't own Twitter. Now it's fine. But the point is, in this Misha, what's his last name? Collins? Who I love, huge fan. He issues an apology in which he is so apologetic for having claimed to be bisexual for 3 days. And at the end of the apology, he says something along the lines, I regret that I may have caused harm and set back the movement. I never intended to do anything like that. I am so sorry if I caused harm, the harm that I caused. You didn't cause any harm. Hey, everybody. I was trying to make a joke. It came across that I was bisexual. I then got distracted, and I didn't realize people thought I was bisexual. I'm not. I'm straight. I love gay people. You guys go do your thing. I'll be straight and very supportive. I'll see you around. That's the level we needed. but there's no perspective anymore. There's just these intense, every apology, no one ever says, I issue a deep apology. It's always a deepest apology. My deepest regrets. No, these are not your deepest regrets. You have deeper regrets. I promise. I promise. Because a regret that is deep enough to be your deepest regret is not something you are talking about on the internet. I have regrets. I have deep regrets. And I have my deepest regrets. You all know my regrets. You know some of my deep regrets. You know zero of my deepest regrets. My regrets are for Pod Save America and Love It or Leave It. My deep regrets are for my dearest friends. My deepest regrets are for Dr. Christie. And, you know, Twitter is stupid. Social media is bad. But the one thing it does that is one of the worst things it does in every way all the time is it gets rid of perspective. And I just think sometimes the thing that is harming us most of all is that everything is treated exactly the same. We just need a little more perspective. Hey man, you said you were bisexual. It's kind of funny. It's not a big deal. No one's upset. No one's harmed. We're getting harmed in Florida. We're not getting harmed by you. Chill the fuck out. Thank you for your apology. We accept. We accept. We accept.
Yes. I do want to say, though, like, as a bisexual, I do feel like he held us back. Like, everyone knows, like, there's the ranking of bisexuals. And for those 3 days, Misha was at the top. And that knocked me down. That hurt.
I will say this. We have many challenges as a community. One of the greatest is the fact that anybody can say they're bi these days.
It's true.
And a lot of people, listen, bisexuality is real. And there's a lot of them. They're out there.
The only thing that bothered me about it was that it was only 3 days, because we had a solid 90s rom-com plot on our hands, and I can't believe he just ended it so soon, like before the first act.
Come on, man. We had a second act we could have done where somebody was into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe you work together.
Yeah.
You know? And then maybe they like you, but you don't like them, but don't you like them?
Exactly.
All right? But then her best friend likes you.
Yeah. He learns a lesson Tootsie style. It doesn't hold up.
And
you see it now, and you're like, I guess for the time.
Here's what I want to say about Tootsie. And it's finally time we talk about Tootsie before we end the show, which has to end, which is this. Tootsie doesn't hold up. Justice for Terry Garr. And that's our show.